Hello, everybody, and welcome to this talk. My name is Paul-Louis Nech. I'm staff machine learning at Algolia. And today I'm very happy to be sharing the stage. Hello, Maria.
Hi, Paul-Louis. I'm Maria. I'm a full stack engineer here at Algolia. Our quest today is to prove that forging a fellowship of AI that's between machine learning and great user experience is the future of building AI products. Now, the challenge that we are facing is navigating this collaboration when machine learning and user experience speak different languages and prioritize for different outcomes. So what unites us? Our common North Star, that is building AI-powered products that truly serve people.
And if this unites us, there is a lot that divides us. So let's start by explaining where we stand. In this conversation, I will represent machine learning, kind of a magician wanting to be powerful and to augment you, a kind of Gandalf. Whereas here, Maria will represent the UX, defending the users against all kinds of dangers, real or hypothetical, kind of like Galadriel in Lord of the Rings. You will see us state our positions and fight a few battles. You get to decide who to trust. Let us know in the chat. As Gandalf, my position is that the best AI experiences are like magic. They should fade in the background. I think that the goal of machine learning is to use AI to radically enhance human capabilities, to blend seamlessly, have the technology disappear and solve a real-world problem. I think that the ideal world allows us to be more. We can do anything we like at scale, have radically augmented capabilities, and maybe even an extra arm, like Gandalf here.
So I think the core of our mission is to build trust and ensure agency, leaving humans more empowered after each interaction. As in the end, UX is the one that defines human-centered problems and provides the wisdom in the solutions. So our role here is to tame artificial intelligence, as AI should work for people, otherwise it just doesn't work.
Now that you heard our positions, it's time to lay down our arguments. You can use the chat to let us know who is right. The first battle is a fundamental one. It's about friction versus flow. Should the AI pause to ask for permission? Let's take the Algolia guides. We have a generative solution to create shopping guides in seconds, cutting down hours of work from our customers. But if an AI hallucinates product details or misses cultural context, users would lose trust instantly. So how can we showcase the magic while being honest about the limitations? Should the AI pause to ask for permission?
I will start by showing what happens when it doesn't ask for permissions. If interactions are too easy, then users might mindlessly accept outputs without any critical review, which leads us to perpetuating misinformation, for example, because AI's flaws become our own flaws. We can also start losing our human expertise, and that leads us to an erosion of critical thinking or through cognitive offloading. And the worst of them is that we lose accountability, because in the end, if AI fails, then whose fault is it? Who can we hold responsible for its mishaps? So maybe some friction, some humor in the loop is actually useful. And there is even a hidden bonus here for our machine learning friends. When we have strategic feedback gathering, we are actually gathering valuable insights that lead in the long term to better models overall. So strategic friction is the one that forces a momentary pause, prompting users to think before accepting or acting on AI-generated content. So I rest my case. We should design for moments of conscious engagement. Because after all, we don't want our users' blind trust. We want them to gain a nuanced understanding of AI's capabilities.
Oh, that sounds great. I'm all in for conscious engagement. And surely our users having nuanced understanding of my model sounds great. There's just one issue. We said we want magic. We say to our product manager, it will be like magic. Our systems learn from users and adapt to their need. And so if you want the magic AI feature, Well, we'll connect all the data we could need, right? Right? The thing is, if we want magic to work, we should collect a lot of interactions, user interactions, implicit feedback, ratings, freeform reviews. And before you know it, yes, we're going to have 7 feedback options for the users. I'm sorry, Galadriel. The thing is, data collection should be the default. We need extensive data in order to measure, track, and optimize everything. And that probably means we cannot do opt-in. Major companies like Microsoft, Apple, Google, they're now turning on AI feature by default, making them opt out, you have to leave, rather than opt in, you have to choose to join. And this is because if you listen to Thaler and Sustain in Nudge, well, opt-out systems have adoption rates above 80%, while opt-in systems are often below 20%. It's day and night. And many features we expect in a search and discovery API are magic. You know, learning to rank, personalization of the results for each individual, automated synonyms, you name it. Magic is never free. All of these features work because we collect the data upstream. And so as an engineer, as a machine learning researcher, I think we cannot ask users. We should not depend on the user decisions. We need to find a way to learn from implicit signals, whether they give us feedback or not, and to build continuous feedback loop. Here, less friction means more data, and more data means more magic.
I see where you're coming from, but I think the truth is actually in the middle way. We do need feedback. We also want to rely on implicit signals. So let's make it progressive. When the stakes are low, for example, when you're generating the headline for a guide, then we can do with lower friction. We don't need that much human control over it. But when the stakes are high, such as building a legal case, we should definitely have have more human input. So we should have a higher level of friction. But now the question is, what happens when those feedback points and moderation outputs block recommendations, such as, for example, the movie Fight Club, being labeled as violent content? So I think that brings us to our second round of battles, promise versus reality. Or why do AI systems that work perfectly with testing data still frustrate real life users? Like our machine learning guy builds 3 prototypes in a week with his magic staff. Can we just ship it?
I surely hope we can, because there are new capabilities being shipped weekly. Multimodality, LLMs, system now understand images. Agentic loop, you can now create multi-agent systems that will take sequences of actions in the world. And deep research features with multi-agents coordinated to answer a question. Well, new capabilities weekly. And the users already expect them, especially the power users like the developers that Algolia is talking to. And this means, as a machine learning guy, we're already late. I have the impression that we have to catch up between what's already available that our users expect and that we don't have yet. And this acceleration, this feeling of being late, is only going to go worse. We are living currently in an accelerating pace of technology. Things compound and go faster and faster. And adoption accelerates as well. If you look at this graph by the Saint-Louis Fed rapid adoption of generative AI analysis, they studied how long it took for the PCs to go from commercially available to widespread. And after 10 years after the first product, 40% of households had a PC. When the internet came, it adopted way faster. After 5 years, we had already 40% of American households using internet. Where is Gen AI on this chart? It's the black dot. We only have 2 years, and we are already at 40% adoption. It's going faster and faster, might even be an exponential. And that means for us, we need to bring it all, and we need to accelerate. We cannot play catch up forever. We need a lab-like process to ship those new capabilities. We need research to find new papers, frameworks, techniques, then experiment design to validate and fail fast, and use fast release and iteration methods to be able to ship them. That's the only way we can follow the pace of advance. Right now, we've took a few weeks to integrate the completion API by OpenAI. And yes, Galadriel, the darkness has returned. We need to do it again for the responses API. The only way this works is if we don't do it by hand. So we need to automate all the things.
Gandalf, you're really appealing at the engineer side of me. But today I'm here to represent the human side. So let's confront the fundamental truth about the world that we live in. Reality is not state of the art. It's rarely a clean and perfectly labeled data set. And this is precisely where even the best AI models can struggle. Your models are top notch, don't get me wrong, but do they get cultural subtext? Are modern conflict documentaries violent? Are late night shows pushing hate speech? Or are they actually satire? What about The Simpsons? So I think we can conclude that lab conditions don't reflect human complexity. But let's take a deeper look at the real life example. What happens when IBM Watson's oncology solution uses United States data in South Korea? We end up losing $4 billion because the models ended up amplifying biases that do not reflect, that quickly collided with the complex realities of cancer care. So, what can we actually learn from this? I say let's bridge the gap between lab performance and human context. On one hand, we have to build a continuous loop of learning and further improve models with human context. But it's also our duty as humans to update our mental models about what an AI system can or cannot do. Because after all, too much magic at once can be overwhelming and lead to undesirable outcomes. But that doesn't mean that we should not enjoy it or use it.
So this concludes the second battle. The last one is not the least. It's about transparency versus magic. We saw how progressive fiction is our go-to. We also touched on the problems with AI mishaps. But now, how do we encourage users to fix these mistakes? How can we empower them and leave them in control? Basically, should users see how the AI sausage is made, or does that break the spell?
Now, of course, I'm going to say it's all about transparency because, in the end, it's not just an ethical nice to have, it's the tool we have for building and maintaining calibrated trust. So, the new UX paradigm of the age, in the age of generative AI, it's all about generative variability. For decades, we have learned that one input means one output. But now with generative AI, one input means multiple possibilities. So we should design for it. Because after all, we are human and we hate uncertainty. So let's make it visible. We should be able to break the black box. We should be able to be upfront about what an AI can and cannot do, or where its knowledge actually comes from, basically designing with generative variability in mind. Because in the end, the best AI experiences are not all about the AI dictating, they are about an AI and the human collaborating. So for me, when I say transparency, I actually mean co creation and even teamwork. So my goal is to build a partnership, should move from AI being a mystery to AI being a partner. Because in the end, AI is not replacing us, AI is augmenting us. Just like Gandalf is dreaming of, it's making us more capable, more creative, but we should not lose our human values. We should be partners with AI, not passive consumers.
I love it. I think that our users should be able to partner with the systems we build. At the same time, I think that there can be such a thing as too much transparency. Our users need to focus on their goals, not on how they accomplish it. I advocate for invisible intelligence, where users can focus on the AI outputs, not on the complexity behind. When you open the ChatGPT app, you think, what can I help with? No, how does this thing even work? I want our users to avoid the paradox of choice. When you look at the AI Studio dashboard, there is so many things. There's like 7 sliders on the right. How should the default user understand this? Too many parameters can create choice paralysis and alienate the non-experts. I think the AI should adapt to the users implicitly, not break flow via parameter input and tweaking. I'd rather our systems don't make me think. We should avoid the paradox of choice and avoid breaking the flow. See, I'm learning from your UX recommendations. But I also think it's about good engineering. We should be able to trust our outputs. The AI output should go live. To me, when you create a guide in the Algolia generative guide, it should mean done, not, no, you go proofread the AI. Because to be honest, make sure it works is not a user's problem. It's our job. I think trust doesn't always come from transparency. When you look at rockets, trust comes from reliability and from having reliable outputs. If our AI delivers value, most users are happy, even if they don't know how it works. It's the same with any good technology. When your intent maps to an action, when I can press a button to think, turn on the lights, the technology serves the user and not the other way around. To me, I should be able to trust the AI and to just think about the action it's going to do. There's no warning about electrons needed if the electrician did a good job in the home engineering. I think our AI should aspire to the same level of quality so that it truly becomes like magic.
This is a very compelling argument. And I think if we combine with my case for transparency, we can arrive at the conclusion that we actually need progressive complexity. Users should be able to co-create with AI to correct for context and also learn from it. Your argument is very compelling. Now, if you combine it with my argument for transparency, I think we can conclude that we are actually striving for progressive complexity. We want our users to co-create with the AI, but we also want to build with progressive complexity. Basically, we want to provide smart default settings and templates that allow for advanced customizations, because we should focus on why, not on how.
I love it. And hence, we reach a collective wisdom. After those 3 battles, but honestly, so many rich conversations between Maria and I, we reached this conclusion. No perspective is superior to the other, nor should it be. What matters is who you build the product for. And we are both dangerous when left alone. I'm left alone as Gandalf. I will say, do not tempt me, Frodo, and I will ship new modalities every week without concern for users.
And yet, if you leave me alone with my magic mirror that will show me user experience issues that happened before, the ones that we are facing today, but also the ones that may or even may never actually be. So, in the end, we should say that we are not competing, we are actually completing each other.
Machine learning provides the intelligence.
And UX provides the wisdom to make it meaningful to humans.
Thank you.
Thank you.